Hello everyone, welcome to the unofficial Roblox tutor, and today we're going to be pushing for our first scripting lesson. And what we're going to be learning today is the parent-child relationship. I'm going to walk you through the diagram and then show you how to write the code out yourself. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so we have our diagram. So when we're talking about the parent-child relationship, the first thing you need to know is that a parent is anything that contains any object, instance, or script or service. So what does that mean? Well, if we look at our box right here, which is supposed to represent a container, right, we have a data model called game. And what is a data model? Data model contains instances, scripts, services, and much, much more. So with this logic, let's go down here, right? We have a workspace. Workspace is the child of the data model. Why is that? Because a child is anything that is contained inside of an object. So, object, script, instance, or service, right? So this right here is a child of game, right? Or data model, as we can describe it. But let's just use game. So because game is the parent of child, right? Workspace actually is a reference to game. So you can check this out. You click on workspace, and when you look at the parent property, there's the parent property. Oh, it's right there. You'll notice that the parent property right here is the classroom, right? Because the data model is represented by the game name. In code, we have a reference called game. So let's move on. So workspace also contains a child called part. For demonstration purposes, I also added different properties to this part. This part has the properties of John Doe for its name. It's got the property color of bright green, and it also has a transparency of 0, and it also contains a script. So with this information in mind, we can literally conclude how the structure is going to work. So we have a part that contains a script, right? And this script right here is going to manage the properties of this part. How are we going to do that? Well, script also has a property called parent. So when we do this in code, I'm going to show you how to access that. Alright, I hope this has been insightful. Let's get into the code. Let's get straight into this. Okay, welcome back to the coding portion of this lesson. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to insert a part. So the best way to do this is we can press Control-I. And if you don't have Control-I, if you're on a MacBook, I think it's Command-I. So Command-I or Control-I, okay? When you open this up, you get an object browser, right? What we're going to do is we're going to type in the search bar, part. And we're going to do the same thing, Control-I or Command-I, and we're going to get a script. Put it inside a part, right? Okay, so you see this diagram, right? What we're going to do is we're going to mimic this diagram. So right now we have a part that's inside of the workspace. Part is a child of workspace, right? And workspace is a parent of part. Right here you can see it in the Explorer. And as you can see, that the script right here is a child of part. Now remember how in the previous section that I told you that script has a reference to part as parent? Well, here it is. It's right here. Its parent is part. So with this information, we can actually use this in code to have access. So in Roblox Lua, right, you have, well actually in Lua U, you have the ability to reference different items or instances using the parent-child relationship. The way we do that, there's 3 methods mainly. The first method, we're going to write a comment. And comments are 2 dashes. First method is the parent method. And that's where we can go and declare a variable. We'll teach you that in the next section. So we'll just kill all this part, and we can go script.parent. Right? The second method is the child method. And the way that works is we can go local part is equal to game.workspace.part. Oh, not parent, part. There you go. Right? And the last and the final method. Right? And this method pertains more to using functions. This is a bonus. Right? Is we can go find first child or find first ancestor. Alright, and I'm showing this as a bonus for when you're learning. So we go part child here, and we go script find first ancestor, and we go part. Alright, actually part parents. There we go. So when you use part find first ancestor, we're literally going from the script and we're looping through all of the parents until we find the name part, which we only have one parent, so the name part is the first thing that shows up. And then the child method, so part child, and this is where we would go workspace on find first child part. All right, so now that we've gotten through these three methods, I hope you've learned a lot. We're gonna do what we said we're going to do from the beginning. We're going to change the properties of part. So we're going to go parts.name equals a string, and that's going to be John Doe, right? And it's based off what we have right here. We're going to make the part bright green, so we're going to go part.brickcolor equals brickcolor dot new bright green. This is the data type, we'll get into that later, and we're gonna go part.transparency is equal to 0. Right, but we should add 0.5, just so you can see the effects. Okay? Right now, we're not using these two. This is just a method for accessing a child or parent using a function, which we'll learn more about later. Okay, so let's press run so we can see the results. And look at that. The part's colors changed. I bet its name is John Doe. Look at that. The name is John Doe. And its transparency is 0.5. We can verify that here. The properties panel. Alright, so that concludes what we just learned. What we just learned was what the parent-child relationship is, how to access different properties, how to use scripts to update and change properties, and access anything inside of the data model or the game. Alright, well, without further ado, let's get on to the next lesson. Subscribe for more lessons.